What's going on, y'all? I got a good one today. I feel like this one mixes in with paranormal and like reality crime at the same time, like because I feel like it was happening at once in this particular story, right? So I don't know if y'all got the post on my story earlier, but we're gonna talk about a boy named Donovan Nicholas, a 14-year-old boy that unalived his mother and claims that somebody or something named Jeff made him do it. Jeff. So it's April 6, 2017, and the father, Shane, gets a call from the police officer of that county there, and he informs him that his wife, what was her name again? Oh, Heidi. That Heidi is was found unresponsive in the home, and they're just kind of course, the father, Shane, is in distraught. He's just kind of freaking out. You can hear the police call too. I mean, he just doesn't want to believe it. So then they move on to his son and ask them about his son Donovan, and he told them yes, he's a very soft-hearted boy, soft-smoking, very just not like a dangerous person, I guess is what his father tried to describe. They proceeded to tell him that he was the one that unalived his girlfriend. And of course, like anybody, that's going to bring shock to you, hearing that your own son did that. And I think it was his stepmom. And I don't think it was his real mom he unalived. But, I mean, nonetheless, I mean, it's still pretty insane, The father was just, bawling over the phone. You can hear it, so. But Heidi is the one right here on the left. She was his stepmom, I guess, since he was little. I guess she's raised him or helped raise him. But I guess her and Donovan had a lot of issues going on in their time. I guess he had a hard time listening, and from what it sounds like, she had a hard time communicating what she wanted as well. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there, but from what the police are saying and what everything's being said, that they kind of really had a rocky relationship, and it wasn't no help that the father kind of wasn't really helping every time he was, saying something wrong or where it was time to, get after your son / stepson, whatever, right? He kind of would interfere with that and kind of just mess that up for her. So I think that's what built the frustration between the two as well, between that she couldn't get through to him because of the father. And it sounds like the boy kind of knew that, like he knew how to work his dad around that. Like he knew when he was punished, his dad would give him back his game console, his phone, etc., right? But I think what had did all this was what set off the last straw was, I think, when she took away his phone again. And after like a series of this happening so many times, of the phone, game consoles, you name it, was getting taken away or discipline, at whatever, he finally just like had it with this last one here. So the police show up back, they show up, not back, but they show up to the house because they got a call from Donovan that he unalived his mother. Well, they show up, and of course he's there. He's standing there, blood all over his shirt. It's obvious he has injuries to the face, which they saw, but I guess they didn't really get into it right there and then because, of course, there's somebody that's not responsive right now. But he has injuries to his face, right? We'll get into that right now. So, but they just go on to they take him. Of course, they bring him into their interrogation, whatever. They bring him in there and talk about him. And then they're just there asking him, why he did this, why he called, what's going on. He was very cooperative. Like, he didn't really argue with the police or hide any information about it. But while that was all happening, they recovered a journal, and they were also interviewing some of his friends, if he had attitudes up to this point. I think they had asked one of his friends, I guess. Donovan's, this is him, by the way. Let me move out the way. Sorry about the green screen. I don't know why it keeps leaving that blank spot there, but that's Donovan, and those are those injuries I'm talking about that we're gonna get into here soon. So, like I said, he goes in. He's cooperating with them, and they interviewed one. They had already interviewed one of the friends, and he just kind of went and said that he was getting bullied. Not Donovan, the friend was getting bullied. And he went up to Donovan and told him, don't you get so mad sometimes you want to beat someone up? And he said, no, I think I would just, in the calmest voice though, I would just poke him, so to speak. which drew heavy concern to his friend though, because he really wasn't going over there trying to do anything violent to his bully. He just wanted to know if do you feel the same way, and Donovan kind of gave him a out of pocket answer for real, like, you know. So I mean, that really struck like a concern to the police, like, okay, like he has violent tendencies, right, you know. And another friend he had said that what did she say? Honestly, I don't even think I remember, but nonetheless, it definitely was like interesting to hear the other sides of how they felt about him. His family was saying that he wasn't like that. The Heidi side, the stepmom side of the family, was saying he was very manipulative towards her. He was very he could be ugly at times. From what my personal opinion, it sounded like a lot that the stepmom didn't have like a ground with him because of the dad. The stepson knew that, took advantage of that fact, and I think it just was a constant conflict going on between the two. So the phone thing, her taking his phone away, was just like the last straw. Like he already done had it. So now we're gonna talk about who Jeff is, right? Jeff is some kind of, you know, he believes it's some kind of entity that lives within his skin, you know, that it comes out when he wants it to, whether or he doesn't want it to, right? A few of the things he told the police about Jeff is that he sometimes can't control what Jeff does. That Jeff's the one that unalived his stepmother, right? Apparently. The crazy thing with this is that I don't know how spiritual you guys are, but what I do know is I do believe there is a good and a bad. That's, you know, that's just what it is. Rather on a spiritual level as well, there is a good and there is a bad. The thing is that's interesting with this is the way he was describing what this entity would do is the way he described it. So what he says that Jeff, right? Remember, Jeff was very like fidgety. He said Jeff was they said that Jeff was known, he claimed Jeff was known to like click the back of pens or like tap pencils on the desk. I guess because he was tired of being in his skin. I don't know what was going on there, but he claims that he'd hear him do those things and tell him, "I want to get out, I want to get out," and he'd tell him no. He would say things like, "I am the devil's child. I am anything but holy. I am different than Donovan. He's soft. He's weak."
Ah, fuck! I said another word TikTok don't like.
Apparently, when he unalived his stepmother, that Jeff came out of his skin and changed clothes. And the crazy thing with the clothes that he changed into was a white shirt and jeans. Sounding a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer, if you ask me, right? I mean, I don't, like I said, there's a good and there's a bad. There's bad people, then there's bad spirits. If you died as a bad person and came back or haunting, it can pass off to you as being some kind of bad spirit, but you're really just an ugly person that died. You're you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it just sounds very like he could make it up, but then there's kind of things where it's like, well, what's the tapping then? What's that? Why would he kind of say that and under all the pressure he's under for
he's
murder?
about to do it again.
That, right?
Yep, he gonna do it again.
I don't know. If you ask me. He even said that Jeff will come out and boast and laugh about the things he did that day, which Donovan will have no recollection of. So basically how he did this, he, like in a nutshell, he poked his mother 63 different times. I don't know how many times he did the first time, but she was able to get up and run up the stairs to try and grab the phone, but he followed her up there, of course. I want to say she believed she was already doomed, only because she went to her bed and begged one more time for him to call the police. He said no. He knew where the gun was that his father and mother kept upstairs.
But I said
it. You know, he was, of course, they was arrested. The marks on his face was from the character he idolized called Jack.
I lied. It wasn't the last time. This is the last time. My bad.
But I always felt that entities will come in ways that you idolize. They're gonna come in those ways. But he got 25 years for it, but left 5 because I guess they violated his rights. He walked from this because of his rights being violated as a minor, and it's just really crazy to me. It really is, to know that something on a technicality like that can let someone like him walk out. But I also believe that when you have bad things around you like that, things like that happen, whatever you want to call them, lucky, whatever, I don't know. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening.